Yes. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Narayana Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Vidyankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So with the blessings of the Guru and Sri Krishna himself, we are back again for another day of Manana on chapter 6 Dhyana Yoga of the Bhagavad Gita. So we were in shloka number 6.5, that is Uddhared Atmanam Atmanam, and last week we didn't get to chant it. Shall we do that now? None of us have chanted the shloka yet.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. Nirmala ji is also here. How nice. Okay. Uddharetatmanatmanam न आत्मानम् अवसाधयेत् आत्मैव हि आत्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः. Yes. Anyone can start.
Uddharedatmanatmanam atmanamavasadayet atmaiva hi atmano atmaiva atmano bandhuhi atmaiva ripuratmanah.
One nimsha. Uddharet atmanam atmanam na atmanam avasadhayet.
Oh, na, okay.
Never mind. Next person can start.
Uddharetatmanam avasadayet. Sorry. Uddharetatmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah.
Yes. Next, please.
Uddharetatmanam atmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhuhu atmaiva rupuratmanah.
Yes. Okay.
Uddharet atmanam atmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva atmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah.
Yes.
Uddharedatmanatmanam na atmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah.
Very nice, Indra. Okay.
Okay, no?
Yes.
Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadhayet atmaiva hyatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanah.
Okay, one more. Avasadha la mahaprana illa. Avasadhayet.
Okay. Natmanam avasadayet.
Yes, correct. Next, please.
I'll go for it.
Yes.
Uddharedatmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः
Lovely.
उद्धरेतात्मनात्मानं आत्मानम् अवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः
Yes.
उद्धरेत् आत्मनात्मानं नात्मानम् अवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः रात्मैव रिपुरात्मनः.
Beautiful. Aita, Padmaja. Heli.
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानम् अवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धु आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः.
Yes.
Purnima, too many Atmas, Purnima. So next.
Yes. Which is the next Atma? Okay. If we are done, it's.
Yeah, done.
So, yeah, too many Atmas. So beautiful. Look at the poetry of this beautiful verse. Isn't it amazing, really? I mean, I don't know if it's Vyasa or Krishna, who it is, but it's so beautiful. Uddharet Atmanam Atmanam. Elevate yourself through the power of yourself. Na Atmanam Avasadayet. Do not degrade yourself. Atmaivahi Atmano Bandhuhu. The mind is your own friend. Atmaivahi Ripuhu Atmanaha. And the mind and tabitpudi, the self can be your own enemy also. So beautiful. So what can I do with my mind? I can either elevate myself or degrade myself. This is a simple message of the shloka, but there is so much to it. There is so much to it. So anyone wants to share any understanding on this? We start with that and then dive. Who has got anything to say about it? Please, you are welcome. Padmaja?
So it says that it's like you are responsible we are responsible for our own elevation or debasement. So though we have gurus or saints to show the way, we need to travel it ourselves.
Correct.
So God realized saints or sadgurus are always present in every era to guide the sincere seekers and inspire humanity. The key point is to first understand our present level of spirituality and be open to the teachings of Guru. Only then we can elevate ourselves by our efforts. So whenever things don't work for us, we usually blame it on others and consider them as enemies. However, our biggest enemy is our own mind. A controlled mind can accomplish many beneficial endeavors, whereas an uncontrolled mind can degrade the consciousness with most ignoble thoughts.
Correct.
So here let's understand the mind's nature to use it as a friend. Our mind operates at 4 levels. One is mind, intellect, chitta or ego. The mind is like manas when it creates the thoughts.
Yes.
And intellect when it analyzes those thoughts and decides. That's when the buddhi is into action.
Correct.
And chitta when it gets attached to an object or a person. And the ego when it identifies with bodily identification and becomes proud of wealth, status, beauty, learning. Or that's when the ahankara comes into picture. So Lord Sri Krishna repeatedly talks of the mind and the intellect as being, two things and emphasizes the need to surrender both to God.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Very nice. So, yeah, how the manas, buddhi, chitta and ahankara are can be used or can be misused is the whole point here. Okay. Anybody else? Chandra?
Ama. Okay, Nido.
Odi. Bere enadru idya?
The Lord declares that each individual should lift himself up by his own effort. The Shastras and the Guru point the way. Each one has to tread the path himself. He has to see with his own eyes, walk with his own legs, and satisfy his hunger by feeding himself.
Man is the architect of his own destiny, the
Mhm.
pilot of his own fate. God helps those who help themselves. To
Ah,
think that God would take the people to the land of peace while they live a life of idleness and sensuality is utterly wrong. So
yes.
also no teacher, however great he might be, can take a person to freedom if he
Yes.
does not show grace to himself. They
Yes.
cannot give him a passport to immortality of if he does not strive to purify himself and live the life of godliness. One
Mm.
has to pay the price even for a small article in the market. Thus, we can imagine what price a man has to pay to obtain eternal joy and peace. Will idleness purchase this immortal blessing? How much effort, struggle, and striving is needed to attain freedom? So let each man work diligently by carrying out the instructions of the Shastras and the Guru. Finally, it is the self that realizes the self. The Lord makes it clear to all seekers that they should not expect any sudden transformation from one state to another by any sort of miracle or jugglery. It is a hard struggle from first to last. One should be prepared for if prepare for it if he wants the highest reward of life.
Super. Excellent. So this is a call to self-effort. So if anybody has a question about free will and destiny, I think this shloka settles it. Of course, God has given us free will. Otherwise, why would He, ask me to make an effort? Isn't it? So that self-effort is very much stressed in this shloka. I have given you all the tools. I have given you now the jnana also I'm giving you to Arjuna. Now it's up to you what you do with it. Isn't it? That's the whole point here. So the choice is always with the jiva. And even going by the Darwinian theory of evolution, survival of the fittest. The one who makes the effort, that being will survive. So if one has to survive or actually transcend this whole cycle of birth and death, that also one has to make his own effort. It is said, no, in the animal world also, when a calf is struggling to get up, if the calf makes an effort to get up, the owner will help it on that. If the calf is lying simply listlessly, Papa put to sleep permanently. They say it's not worth it. So, when that is the case, how much more responsibility we as humans have to make this apurva, amazing opportunity given to us work for us. It is such a huge responsibility. Just think about it. And na avasadayet. Let us not waste this thing by doing all sorts of unnecessary things. So here is a question. So number one is, so many questions were raised on the Bhagavad Gita. If a layman or lay person reads the Bhagavad Gita or understands it superficially, one can ask, why is Krishna giving all this advice to Arjuna? Why can't he go and tell Duryodhana? At least the war would be stopped. Would that happen? Was that possible? No, because Duryodhana didn't ask. No. See what?
Even if he gives also, he's not in a state to receive.
Even Arjuna also, who was regretting and so sad about the whole war, and throughout the first chapter, Arjuna kept lamenting, kept crying, kept cursing his fate. What did Krishna do? Nothing. He just listened. Until Arjuna came to such a point that he asked for help. Only then Krishna opens his mouth, isn't it? So I can sit and curse my own fate and cry and regret and complain about the state of affairs of the world or my life or whatever it is. But until I get up and start doing something about it, no use. No, this thing is any use. So this is one of the very important points of the shloka. Uddharet Atmanam. Where did that question come from? The regret came from me. The question came from me. The solution also I am seeking from myself. Atmanam. Yes, Nirmala?
What is the free will we have? It's a question.
Yes, tell. Answer.
अरे अरे क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ और
हाँ, वो
आंसर भी मेरे से पूछो तो क्या है?
वही फ्री विल है. क्वेश्चन जो पूछा आपने वही आपका फ्री विल है, isn't it? तो अंदर से आएगा.
Only one free will we have.
Yes.
Go inwards.
Yes.
You have to watch your mind.
Yes.
You have to see how your mind is working. You have to see if the mind is going in the wrong direction. With Viveka, you have to pull it inwards. You have to do all the hard work.
Yes.
Nobody else can help you.
Nope.
Going outwards, selecting a saree, selecting a jewelry, selecting a car is not the free will. That will lead to more prarabdha, more vasanas,
True.
more things. What we have to do is
Well said.
sabko chodo, go inwards, watch your mind closely,
Yeah.
and see how your mind is working. Train your mind. There's a lot of hard work.
Lot of hard work. Lot of hard work. See,
that is what it is.
The first and the hardest part is to align your mind. See, the Buddha also says, very well said, Nirmala. The Buddha also says, he has got the eightfold path, out of which one is the right view. See, what is your vision? That is one of the most critical things here on the eightfold path to Nirvana. First is the right view. What do you want to do with your life? That is the first thing. You get that right. The second one is the right sankalpa. What are you going to do about it? So all of us have done that here. We have got the right attitude and we have got the right sankalpa to log in and, listen to Lord Krishna's words. So first big hurdle is crossed. Next, what do? We listen to the instructions given by Krishna. This is what it is. This is what it is. This is what is life. This is what your dharma is. This is what your karma is. This is what your, this is what you are. That is the ultimate. So all this beautifully will unfold the moment I open my mind to it. Uddharet. What is Uddharet? To lift from. Yes, Sumati. Tell.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Not
After
at
your
all.
thought is complete, I can share.
Illa, ಹೇಳು. No problem. Carry on.
So, Uddhared Atman Atmanam, like we lift ourselves by our own effort.
Yes. And
Atmanam Avasadayet is don't degrade ourselves. Also in speech, like sometimes I find myself telling, oh, I'm good for nothing, or
beautiful. Very good.
I degrade myself. Who am I to do that? Who is the I doing that? So that's a question I ask myself.
Very beautiful.
And that is the free will. Here in our center, one big board is put, one big banner is put. Not doing what you feel like is freedom. Not doing what you feel like doing is freedom. My son is here and he just corrected me. Not doing what you feel like doing is freedom. So that free will is that emotion. That's the emotions are all in the mind. So that's the free will. And I want to quote Gurudev here, Gurudev Swami Chinmayananda. He says, for me, the Suddhared Atmanam Avasadaya, that part, Gurudev's acronym comes to mind. Sin. What it means to commit sin. That sin is acronym for self-insulting action. So that self, when I am unaware and I just do things driven by my senses, then without really thinking or without surrender, without devotion, then that is avasadayat, degrading myself.
Yes. Very beautiful.
And to Nirmala ji's question, free will, when adding to what you said, Purnimaji, again Gurudev says one thing. He says there is a manufacturing defect in God. Swami Chinmayananda ji says it is a manufacturing defect how God made human. What is that manufacturing defect? He made us extrovert while we have to be introvert, while our whole life is should be geared towards that.
Okay, fine. That's a way of expressing that it's a manufacturing defect, but it's also a gift.
It is.
Because what is the world other than Brahman? Is there anything else? So the way I see the world, that is the defect. The world is just there, Papa. It's there by itself.
Yata drishti tata srishti.
Yata drishti tata srishti. Correct. So it's there. It's just there. I'm the one who is giving it all sorts of upadhis. I'm giving it qualities. I'm giving it adjectives where none exist. The world is just Sat Chit. How is the
So
world?
again, to your point, we have to raise ourselves in our vision. That is our duty.
Haste. So raise myself through my own mind, to my own self-effort, to my own mind. And why? Because see, now this modern day new age parenting, so many young mothers here. Some of the world view is that you just let the children grow, give them freedom, let them do what they want. I don't know how if it would work, if it's effective, because the weeds will also grow, no, along with whatever. Unless you trim the weeds, how will the garden be beautiful? How will it be healthy? If you just let the hair grow or the nails grow, do we do that? No. And the mind is such a subtle, sensitive thing. How can you just let it go wherever it wants, especially in children? I think it's a very, like what you said in the very beginning, the freedom to not to do what you want, that is the real freedom. So just pruning these unruly thoughts, giving it the right direction. Even if the garden has to grow beautifully, you have to make a path for the water to flow to the right path, to the right plant. So this whole idea of let children do what they want, let them discover the world by themselves, to a certain extent, yes. But to not to such an extent that they ruin their lives and if they grow without any direction. So that constantly channelizing the mind towards the right view and the right sankalpa is the challenge. That has to be done. There is no choice. But then I have to do it. I have to decide to do it. So now that avasadhana, what Sumati pointed out, that is very, very, very important. Avasadhana is to degrade myself. The literal meaning of avasadhana in Sanskrit is depress. So don't suppress, depress or your own beautiful life. Don't waste it. So in what manners are we wasting our life? By when am I wasting my life? In what actions? In what way am I wasting my life at any point of time? Anybody can come up with one point. Like Sumati came up with one point. When I feel, when I complain, what did you say, Sumati?
I'm a good for nothing or something like that. Thinking why it's just not possible from me.
ನಾನೊಂದು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ನಾನು ದಂಡ ಪಿಂಡ ಅನ್ನೋದೆಲ್ಲ
ಏನೋ ಅಂತ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ
ಅಂತದ್ದು. ಸೊ ನಂಬರ್ 1. Anything else?
Being very lazy, very lazy and not putting any efforts in this direction. Though you know everything, you may not do it. Being in BMI all the time, so not going inward is also a hurdle.
Sadhana, avasadhana. Very good. Sneha?
Same. I wanted to use the exact same word, laziness. It can be, with any activity, whether it's mental or physical. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಬೇಜಾರು. This is taking some effort. So especially ನಮ್ದು ಫೋನ್ ಇದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ it's very easy to just forget that work. that task. It can be physical or
time.
mental.
We are transcending time. Don't feel sorry.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Adu. Tara. Yeah.
Correct. Amale?
That's the thing that we have to nip at the bud.
Yeah, yeah.
I am bored.
Become aware. Hashte. Helu Padmaja.
I am bored. Most of the time, these kids say that I am bored. I don't know what to do.
Yes. Yes. Correct. That is also avasadhana. I'm degrading myself when I say I'm bored. Next point. So many. Let us get it all out. You know, the ways that we are wasting our own, depressing our own self. When I'm complaining about the world, what are you complaining about? Who are you complaining about? Huh? So recently, Prabhuji gave us one question to think about. When you say, I am disappointed, so who created the appointment in the first place? That was his question. Who will answer now? Tell me. That's the question. Who created your appointment in the first place? Who wants to answer?
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
My own mind.
Yeah. See, we keep saying, I'm disappointed. You disappoint me. I'm disappointed. Anta heltivalva. Who created that appointment in the first place? Who created that expectation in the first place? Tell.
It's us.
I created a
Yeah.
I create.
It's that my mind.
It's my mind alone which created the appointment. So that I alone who get disappointed at one level. At the cosmic level, it's Ishvara who is creating everything. So either way, don't complain. What do you say?
So
even if you are in the path of bhakti, don't complain. Ella devar madiddu anta. Otherwise, if you have the doership attitude, I alone created, I alone am cursing. So that is also, I mean, it's a no-win situation, complaining. Does it make sense? Yeah.
So that ties back to Karma Yoga, where accept prasita buddhi. We have to have that.
Tathatha. The Buddha says, no, tathatha. This is what it is. Can you do something about it? You want to change it? You want to improve it? Do it if you can. Otherwise, na avasadayet. Do not waste your time. Heli Nirmala.
It is not even the mind. It is the ego.
Ego. Aito. See, those words are kind of, they're a package deal. The ego cannot be without the mind. The mind cannot assert without the ego. All right. The ego. Yes.
The mind just gives inputs.
The mind gives
the
intellect processes.
The intellect
processes.
Consults with chitta memory and checks and gives a decision. From nowhere, the ego will come and say, that is not the right decision. I am telling you, this is what has to be done. So the intellect will shut up and follow the ego. The final word is with the ego.
Correct.
So
basically, it's kartritva and bhoktritva. Yeah.
Doership. As you said, you already said that, but the ego word was not used. That's why I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you.
That ego has to go.
Okay.
That is the way. The more I say, mine, finished.
Finished.
That is where we have to go off from. And one more thing, I want to go back to what we were discussing. Who was that? Was that Sumati? Yes, Sumati said. Chinmayananda Swami says, this thing is, directed outwards. If I give you an example, you'll understand better. Before that, I'll tell you. Paranchikani. That is turning outwards. Word used in Kathopanishad for this.
Correct. Turning outwards.
That is, we have a fan. The fan has a rotator, but it rotates in one angle only. It doesn't come the back side. Like that, our view is this side only. It is not this side.
Correct.
There was a big conference among gods. Where can we keep this Atma? Somebody said, let us keep it 7 seas across that.
Correct.
Somebody said 7 mountains across.
Yeah.
Then one particular person said, Hare, forget it. Just keep it inside him. He cannot see inwards.
Yes. That is what Chinmayananda ji was saying, that when you're looking outward, yes, correct.
I want to tell one little story. So, a merchant was traveling. A thief dressed very royally. He found out this fellow is a diamond merchant and he's carrying a lot of diamond. He traveled along with him, trying to divulge from him out where he has got his diamonds. Okay, he goes to sleep. The thief checks out. This man is nicely snorting away to glory. And slowly he lifts his head under the pillow, in the bag, in the side, under his leg. Everywhere he searches. It's not there. The next morning comes and they have to go on. They're walking. This fellow was very curious. He said, where did you hide the diamonds which you were using? Under your pillow.
Right there, where you don't see it.
Just under his own pillow, that thief's pillow.
Yes.
Was the diamonds.
Yes.
As simple as that.
Yes. Very beautiful. It's a similar story, no? A beggar who goes on begging his whole life. He has a designated place where he sits and begs. Whereas under him was a great treasure. If only he had dug the ground a few feet, I believe a treasure was buried under where he was sitting. That is Parama Ramakrishna says that. Yes, Sneha? Sneha wants to say something.
Yes, another instance where, I've experienced myself and I've also seen around, constantly, when it comes to some physical ailment, big or small, some small aches and pains, that becomes the main excuse to not work. So the mind constantly tells us, oh, I have this pain. That thought, that acknowledging that thought. I've seen good examples. I've seen, the negative examples also, where that becomes the main issue.
To just,
to not move on.
All along, I was not even aware of my eye. I didn't even bother about it. Suddenly, as Neha said, the moment I have a little irritation, I only talk about my eye. I am only thinking of my eye, only complaining about my eye. That's all.
Correct.
My eye.
True. So that is another way of avasadhana. That is just constantly worried about the BMI. What's wrong with my body? Something is wrong with me. So this has to be right. That has to be right. But, and what does the God say here? The same BMI has to be used for your uddhara. The self. Everything is a self. Somebody said, Padmaja said, the whole sloka is about Atman, Atma, Atma. Yes. Is there anything else, Padmaja? Nothing else is there. Even the so-called BMI, which I trash as Mood Mam Sada Tadike, that is also God. That is also Brahman, because there is nothing else. How? In the Taittiriya, the Panchakosha Viveka has been beautifully unraveled. And there they go. There the Rishi, the sage, gives step-by-step instructions as to how to meditate on your very, 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 the body that you love so much, the mind that you love so much. Use the same tools to elevate yourself, he says. See, the body, let us not trash it, because it's very, very important. Without the body, how can I function? Without the mind, how can even the whole complex, the body-mind complex, if I didn't have, I wouldn't be sitting here. Isn't it? Where would I be? Where would I be? Please tell me, someone tell me. If I didn't have this manifest body-mind complex, where would I be? What is the... Huh?
Graveyard. Unmanifest.
Graveyard ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು?
ನಾನು ಸುಮತಿ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, graveyard allunu, in what form will I be in the graveyard? See, let us think from Brahman's point of view. What is Brahman? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Alva. Graveyard ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ ನಾನು?
ಇನ್ನ BMI ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
Subtle form ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೀನಿ.
ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
Subtle.
Sat. ಹಾ, correct. Sat ಅಂದ್ರೆ existence. What is existence? See, the body pudi agate, either it's buried or it is cremated. So either I am going down into the elements, or I am ashes again. I am in the elements. But still, it is there in some form. Again, come back to this one. Matter can neither be created nor destroyed. You cannot destroy matter. Alva, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಫಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. That is called existence. Yes, Nirmala?
I have one dangerous say also. I am fed up with this body. I commit suicide. The body is destined to stay for 80 years. But today I say, useless. I am fed up with this world. I commit suicide. You know what happens?
My goodness.
The next 15 years, I'll have to be a ghost hanging
Preta.
Without a body. I cannot work out my karma also.
Yes.
I cannot exhaust my prarabdha karma also.
Yes.
I will be sitting and watching. Oh, if I was alive, I could do this. It's not a big deal. Why ever I committed suicide?
Yes. Correct.
All the regrets as a ghost I will have.
They will come and envelop me.
Is it worth it? So committing suicide? No.
Ignoring the body? No. Keep it healthy, keep it happy. The mind, keep it healthy, keep it happy. Because I have to use it for a higher purpose. That is
okay,
ಹೇಳಿ Rama.
ನಾನು ಇದು I will read out this Chinmaya's ಇದು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಇದು for our introspection. Bhagavan has indicated an exhaustive treatment which may be in many of its aspects considered as equivalent to the modern psychological process called introspection. Realizing our own weaknesses, rejecting the false, asserting the better, trying to live generally as best we can, the higher way of life is the process of introspection. But this is only half the entire process and not the whole of it. The other half also is insisted upon by Krishna. It is not only sufficient that we look within, come to note our weaknesses, erase them, substitute the opposite good qualities, and develop in ourselves the better, but we must see to it that whatever little conquests we might have made out of Satan's province are not again handed back to Satan's dominion. Krishna warns almost in the same breath, do not allow the self thereafter to fall down and be dragged again to the old level of cheaper way of existence. That means he says, erase your these cheap qualities and try to go higher and higher by introspection.
Correct. The vasanas have to be, the lower vasanas have to be dropped, and the higher vasana of Vedanta has to be, you have to hold on to the higher vasana. Even that is a vasana only. But that is a very important, wonderful vasana, which is going to take me out of all vasanas. Yes, that is what we have to dharet. we have to do ourselves. And yeah, so yeah, on these lines, so just the Panchakosha Viveka, I just want to quickly say about that. So the body, which all the philosophers or the spiritual, all the dasas, they sing, deha idu waste unta, but that is at one level. But this very deha which is Annamaya Kosha, it is called. It is full of Anna. That itself, from where did it come? It came from Brahman. There is only Brahman throughout and throughout and through every warp and weft of the universe is nothing but Brahman. So let us not condemn anything. The very body that I am inhabiting is a tool for sadhana. Yes, Nirmala?
Prabhuji says, every little experience, every person you meet, everything which happens to you is the business, self-addressed postcard it is.
Beautiful.
On the basis of your past karmas, people appear.
Yes.
Experiences appear.
Beautiful.
Everything is coming your way because of the previous package.
Yeah.
Nothing you are going to, these opportunities are given so that you will fight it, win a battle, and go to the next level.
Yes.
This is Pac-Man. Cut,
Yes.
cut. One level over.
Yes.
Cut. I go to the next level. How well you cut.
Yeah.
If you don't fight it, you lose. You work harder and fight it and go to the next level.
Correct.
As Ramamani said, it was excellent. Introspection, and you have to work on it. That is the way it is. And coming and sitting in this class is some janmas punyam I have done that I am sitting here.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I cannot come to this class.
Yep.
Like that, everything is like that. You will be there at the right moment and the right place. You will be sitting. If you have done the punya, you are there. If you have not done the punya, no entry place.
Yes.
It is so microscopically designed, and is a super computer which has done it.
Self-regulatory system.
Beautiful. But it is not God who has done it. It is only your karma which is doing all this.
Yes.
Your past karmas is playing it. And in the present, how you behave, shows the trajectory of your next janma.
Simple. It is such a simple mathematics. Unnecessarily, we go around blaming the entire world. So, I just wanted to say a few more things.
Any interaction, any fight, any conflict, or any interaction for that matter, when you are in a doubt, sit for a minute and see what is the lesson for me in this? What should I do? So think of your Shama Dhamma, apply all your rules there and go higher. Yes. Don't say I'm a victim, I'm all this and go down. I have any pain. Don't keep coming down. See what should be done. Take a minute off and go to the next level. That every point, stop, pause, and keep going.
Jai Shri, what happens is when you are in the midst of the turmoil, none of this will work. Believe it or not, one thing will work.
Yes. You have to pass. You have if you give a pass, let the other person go on and think in that pass. Don't react. It helps. Or become quieter. Become quieter in the mind. Become quieter in the mind.
Correct.
Yeah. The better thing is, the same thing, but with a little namak mirch masala, you start chanting your japa. That is easy because you have practiced yourself so much, it will come automatically.
Very good.
Just go on saying Rama, 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 Rama,
So,
Rama, Rama. Don't
very
think a
nice.
lot.
You require something. You require some tool to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, because the pause button, you know what happens? Instead of the pause button, I will go and pounce on the other and say, what? What do you think? I'm worse than you? Huh? I'm much better than you. I can fight much better. I can beat up. I can do so many other things.
So
That's
it's
what
not
will
saying,
come
don't say
automatically.
Rama, 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 Rama. So just say Rama, Rama, Rama.
It's a sort of a beating you get from Rama. Are chupro, 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 chupro.
Very beautiful points there, Nirmala. So yeah, when Jayashree also pointed out, when you
Jayashree is very good. But in action, when it comes, no. That pause will not
Bring it to action. How do you bring it to action? Pause. You may still slip there. You may still slip there. Yeah.
Okay, for pausing and saying Rama Rama a lot, that is why God has given us all these practices. When you are in good health, when your mood is okay, when your life is going well, do all this. So that on the battlefield, you are ready to face it. Alva, that's the whole point. Yuddha Kala Shastra Abhyasa will not work. So
not work. You have to be in training all the time for it.
Have to be in training all the time. Then the Rama Rama will come. Illandre papa Karanantara last moment mantra martoktiv navo. We cannot deploy that weapon. That is why. See, this is so beautiful. That is why a dharmic, ethical, moral life is critical. It's so important. That Karna was so qualified, such a high janma, papa. Aundu karma hagittu, papa, he had to go and live with a lower idu. So he could not bloom to his full capacity. And then, though his intention was to learn all the shastrabhyas and all, he lied, which is a no-no as far as dharma is. He lied to the guru. That is a no-no. That became his greatest downfall, avasadhana. So, ethical moral life is what is prescribed at basic level ali. All human beings. That is the very, very foundational thing that we have to focus on. No, Nirmala?
Are marte vakat, I have to chant Rama. Now, why should I sit and chant it now? When I'm dying, I will chant. If you don't twist and turn your tongue now, at that time, it has to come as an involuntary action.
Yes.
It is not a voluntary action. You have been chanting all your life. It comes as an involuntary action when you are dying.
Spontaneous.
I have a friend who had a habit of writing Rama Rama. Towards the end of her life, last 3 days, she is unconscious. But believe it or not, her finger is writing Rama Rama.
Dekho.
And they found out she is dead because she stopped writing.
Wow. Look at that. That is how one has to use the body-mind complex. That is the lesson we have. Prabhuji also gives another example. There was this man who had 4 children. Okay. And so he knew very well that Krishna says in one of the next chapters, in one shloka, he says, you take my name when you die and I'll come with you. He says that to the whatever, I'll take to the better loka. So that man, like we all do, he named the children Rama, Krishna, Govinda, Narayana, whatever. And so on his deathbed, he called them so that the name of the God is on his lips. Rama, Krishna, Govinda, Narayana, Bani, Bani. So they all came. And so what did he say? Light off madra, shop alli, angdi light off madri tane, children ettitri tane, ensitri tane, and then he died. So even though he was calling his children by the name of God, the thought in his head was, what is happening to my shop, my business? Is everything going on well? That was the topmost thing on his mind.
He never wanted to call Rama, Krishna, Govinda or Narayana. But one good act he did, he named his children by God's name.
Ashte. But then the thought, what was the thought before he died? What's happening to my shop? Will these idiots run it well or not? That was the uppermost thought in his mind. So that's the whole thing. So at so many levels we need to work. We need to work on it at all the levels and rewrite the vasanas with, with these Vedanta vasana. Okay. And then one more point before we finish this avasadhana. The greatest way I am wasting my life is when I wake up in the morning. See, when in deep sleep, the entire world, including my own body, etc., has gone. It's gone. It's not there for my perception. Like Nirmala pointed out, it's unmanifest. It's in the unmanifest causal seed form. I should just give that a thought sometime during the day. Where was all this that I'm fretting about the entire day? I'm so engaged with the world, but where is it actually? It's not there. And that is the very definition of Maya. That which is not there at the beginning and that which is not there in the end. That whole madhyadalli yen baratto, adu Maya, adu appearance. That is mithya anta. For this mithya, I'm giving so much importance. Everything is mithya. Whatever I see in this manifest world, whatever I experience, it comes in the category of mithya because it's not there in the beginning, it's not there in the end. How much I'm ignoring that. By ignoring that truth and by not acknowledging the screen on which all this is being played, the awareness that I am, my true nature, I am not recognizing my true nature as the awareness in which all this drama is being lit up. That is the greatest sin. That's the only sin I'm committing, which is why I'm coming back again and again and again. Yes or no? See, on the outer level, I might. It is
called pramada.
Pramada.
Forgetfulness.
Forgetfulness. Correct. That forgetfulness is the greatest thing, greatest sin. While I'm awake, I'm doing all sorts of things. I'm trying to do a dharmic life, blah, blah, blah. All that is fine. But the greatest forgetfulness is that I'm not giving, when I wake up in the morning, my body, mind, complex and the world is presented to me together. To whom is it presented? To my awareness. My own body and mind is presented to my awareness. First thing when I wake up from deep sleep. So that awareness, I leave it behind. And I go with the body and mind and the world, which is present, which is just an appearance. So going back to that awareness again and again and again, going back to the true nature of mind as Sat and Chit, then the Ananda will manifest. If I go back to that Sat and Chit all the time, let me be aware of the Sat and Chit aspect. What is Sat? Everything exists, including this body or whatever it is. What is Chit? It exists in my awareness. That is Chit. I can see a flower because I am aware of it. I can see XYZ because I am aware of it. Let me not deviate from that Sat and Chit that I am. That is the sadhana that I do. If I don't do it, I am going into avasadhana. Not using my brains, not using my life. So that was the last word today on this. Okay, anybody else? So many people are quiet. Something you say and then we'll close. All of us.
We were not quiet, ma. We were just indulged in all your talks. Nirmala magli, neevagli, it was very beautiful.
Yes.
ಈ ತರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಜೀವನ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚಂದ.
ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲೋಗುತ್ತೆ. If you want, it's your choice. ದೇವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ
ನೀವೊಂದ್ ಕೆಲ್ಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ನಾವ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಲ್ಜ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ದೇವ್ರೆ, ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ನಮ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ಹಗಲು ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದಾರಲ್ಲಮ್ಮ.
ನಾವ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದು,
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇದಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಚಿನ್ಮಯ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗುರುಗಳು ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿರೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗುರುಗಳು ಹೇಳಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮಗಳು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರದ್ದು ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೆಲವ್ರು ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರು ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ನಮಗೂ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಖಂಡಿತ.
So there is a forest officer who had a dog, one Alsatian dog. So another forest officer said, please train this dog. I don't know how to train. He left the dog he tried his level best to teach that dog. He is not getting it at all, that other dog. Then he said and came and left the dog with this fellow and went with the first one. And what has transpired, you don't know. There was a forest fire. And the little dog operated the emergency thing.
Ayyo.
And he, warned him. The other person was shocked. I said, I've been training this dog for so long and it never learned. When did it learn? How did it learn? So, between the dogs, the understanding is very good and they learn.
Yes.
Like that,
Satsang.
we Atmajyotis together, when we are expressing with each other, we are coming down to a lower level and we are trying to, find out the meaning and understand.
Very correct.
It is more understandable with examples and all.
Correct, correct.
These people give at a high level. That is why manana is important. Shravana, you can do it with Prabhuji or Chinmayananda or any big gurus.
Correct.
But when you do manana, you do this, you put it pieces like a jigsaw puzzle, take out all the pieces and joining together.
This is nididhyasa, ma, nididhyasa.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಮನನ.
No, it's manana.
ಚಂದ್ರ ಇದು ಮನನ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಇದು ಮನನ, ರಿಕಾಲಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್ಸ್. ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ಯಾವಾಗ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ನೀವ್ ಹಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನೋ ವಿಟ್ನೆಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಒಂದ್ ಮಾಡೋವಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ ನಾವು ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರೇ ಇದ್ದಾಗ, ಜಯಶ್ರೀ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ತೊಂದ್ರೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಿಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ. ಅಥವಾ ಸುಮ್ನೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಸುಮ್ನೆ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತೀರಾ, ಆವಾಗ ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ. ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರ, ಆಹಾಹಾ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜೀವಾತ್ಮಗಳು ನನ್ ತರಾನೇ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಓಡಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ. ಅದ್ಯಾರು? ನಂದೇ, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಆತ್ಮನೇ ಅವರಲ್ಲೂ ಇದೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನಿಧಿಧ್ಯಾಸ.
You have put all these information in your mind. You sit by yourself and you just do the thing what the cow does. Cow eats up everything and keeps it in the corner of his cheek. Then when he gets time, it mulls it. We are supposed to do all that. All that we have heard now,
yes,
we are supposed to sit by ourselves.
Yes.
And put it in your brain. Oh, what happened? What happened? Oh, yeah. Oh. That is what is nididhyasa.
Yes.
Okay. Hello.
Heli.
Nirmala, some time back, she told, when you are aware, when you are very conscious, do some devoted to the God, sometime devoted to God, and because after some time we may not be in a position to do it. So I just want to quote a few words told by our Periyalvar in Tamil. ஏனென்றே, எழுப்பு என்னை வந்து நலியும் போது அங்கு ஏதும் நான் உன்னை நினைக்க மாட்டேன், அப்போதைக்கு இப்போதே சொல்லி வைத்தேன் அரங்கத்தரவணை பள்ளியானேன். That means when we get this old age, we get forgetfulness, we are not able to read anything, we are not able to think of God. I may not do it, I may not pray to you. So, for that matter, I have told you now itself that I am devoted to you.
So beautiful.
So what our Periyalvar says. It's very nice. Yeah.
He is taking a promise from him now itself.
Yeah.
See, I cannot do it when I am dying. I may be unconscious.
I may die unconscious. So I'm doing it now. I promise you that I am devoted to you.
Beautiful.
I am doing it now. You have to come and save me at that time.
Ashte. You take it as I have deposited. You please give it back to me when I need it. Very beautiful.
Very beautiful.
When I am aware, ಸದಾ ಎನ್ನ ನಾಲಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲಿ ರಾಮನಾಮ. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ನನಗೆ ಇರುವಾಗ, ತಲೆ ನೆಟ್ಟಗಿರುವಾಗ ಬರಲಿ ರಾಮನಾಮ. ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. Papa.
Mm. Mm.
It's all in our account.
ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಸ ಮಾಡೋ ಶ್ರೀಹರಿ.
Yes.
ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ರು ಹಾಡು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ.
ಸ್ನೇಹ ಸ್ನೇಹ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡಮ್ಮ ಹೋಗೋಣ. Let us listen to Sneha today.
Okay. So this song is also composed by Purandara Dasa. I have grown up listening to these series of 7 or 8 songs. Amma appa drive ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. I mean not just this, ಎಲ್ಲಾನು. ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್ ಇಂದಾನು ದೀಸ್ ಸಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ದಾಸರ ಪದಗಳು ಸಂಗ್ ಬೈ ಬಾಲ್ಮುರಳಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ, ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟಚ್ಡ್ ಮೀ ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ನನಗೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು ಅಂತ.
Beautiful.
So the gist of it is, for the people who don't understand Kannada, is that man is constantly worried about something or the other. Even if he gets what he wants, he's worried about adralle revolving around that little thing. He's worried about some other aspect of it. So among these worries, the 3 main points that Purandara quotes here is for a man to have a wife. When he has a wife, when he doesn't have a wife or a spouse, he's worried about not having one. Once he has one, if she is not smart enough, he's worried. And if she is the most beautiful in the whole world, again he is worried that others might get attracted to him and so on. In the same way, when man or woman, when Manushya has no money with him, has no wealth, he's worried. When he has, he's worried. He's always in chinte. And to give, to donate some of his wealth, he thinks he's in chinte again. Similarly, when a couple is childless, they are in chinte. When they have children, they are in chinte about them, and so on. So I will just sing it right now. ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು, ಶ್ರೀರಂಗನೋಳು ಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ತನಕ. ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು, ಸತಿಯಿದ್ದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಸತಿಯಿಲ್ಲದ ಚಿಂತೆ, ಮತಿಹೀನ ಸತಿಯೂ ಆದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಸತಿಯಿದ್ದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಸತಿಯಿಲ್ಲದ ಚಿಂತೆ, ಮತಿಹೀನ ಸತಿಯೂ ಆದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಸತಿ ಕಡು ಚೆಲ್ವೆಯಾದರೆ, ಕೊನೆ ಮೇರೆ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಮೋಹದ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಸತಿ ಕಡು ಚೆಲ್ವೆಯಾದರೆ, ಕೊನೆ ಮೊದಲಿಲ್ಲದ ಮೋಹದ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು, ಶ್ರೀರಂಗನೋಳು ಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ತನಕ. ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಲ್ಲದ ಚಿಂತೆ, ಒಕ್ಕಾಳು ಹೊನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಾಗದ ಚಿಂತೆ, ಒಕ್ಕಾಳು ಹೊನ್ನು ಕೊಡುವ ಚಿಂತೆ. ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ತರುಗಳ ಕಾಯ್ದರು, ಕಕುಲತೆಯ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗದ ಚಿಂತೆ ಅಕರೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ತುರುಗಳ ಕಾಯ್ದರು ಕಕುಲತೆಯ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗದ ಚಿಂತೆ ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು ಶ್ರೀರಂಗನು ಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ತನಕಾನುಗಾಲ ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು ಬಡವನಾದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಬಲ್ಲಿದನಾಗೆ ಚಿಂತೆ ಸಿರಿ ಹೊನ್ನು ಕೈಯೋಳು ಇದ್ದರು ಚಿಂತೆ ಬಡವನಾದರೂ ಚಿಂತೆ ಬಲ್ಲಿಗನಾದೇ ಚಿಂತೆ ಸಿರಿ ಹೊನ್ನು ಕೈಯೋಳು ಇದ್ದರು ಚಿಂತೆ ಪೊಡವಿಯೊಳಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಬಿಡದೆ ಧ್ಯಾನಿಸು ಚಿಂತೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಿಂತೆ ಪೊಡವಿಯೊಳಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಬಿಡದೆ ಧ್ಯಾನಿಸು ಚಿಂತೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಿಂತೆ ಅನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು ಶ್ರೀರಂಗನೋಳು ಮೆಚ್ಚುವ ತನಕಾನುಗಾಲವು ಚಿಂತೆ ಜೀವಕ್ಕೆ ಮನವು
Wonderful. Wow. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Very nice,
much.
really.
Thank you, Rahulji.
Thank you for the explanation.
Yeah.
Bharya, Rupavati, Shatru.
The best part was in the second charanam, I had how much ever I tried to look up the lyrics, I was not convinced of about the meaning because Dr. Balamurali Krishna has not sung this particular charanam, the second one, that is which says ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯಿಂದಲೇ ತುರುಗಳ ಕಾಯ್ದರು ಕಕ್ಕುಲತೆಯ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗದ ಚಿಂತೆ. So when a farmer or a cow herder, with how much ever love he raises his trees or the crop or his cows, it's finally so much, the chinte is still so much part of him, it just won't go. Some worry or the other is always there. So in the end, the last line of the third charanam, he says bidade dhyanisu Purandara Dasan, Vishnu, God, you have to constantly chant his name, constantly think about him, then the chinte becomes nishchinte.
Yes, beautiful. Lovely.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. So convert all your problems into chinte, into nishchinte. Ashte. Yes.
Thank you so much.
God's name. Very beautiful. Thank you. Sneha.
Thank you so much for this lovely forum, where I could present my singing skills. Also, I was, for the first time, I was singing so much from the heart.
Bhava.
Yeah, because you have an audience which is full of charged with bhava now.
It is so oriented.
Sneha, when he comes to our house also, she doesn't have time to sing a single sentence. At least I could hear a full song now.
Lovely.
Rahul, thank you so much for kickstarting this music.
Yes,
into this,
thank you so much.
group.
You are an inspiration.
Thank you, Purnima, for a free hand for all of us.
Oh, Devre. Next to Sumati,
Okay,
I hope she can attend the whole class and then she can sing for us. Any other singers in the group, please raise your hand. We will all listen. Kamala also.
I can also sing, ma.
Oh, Chandra.
Wonderful.
Ellaruno, every class one person let us sing. Okay.
Yes, please.
Aita. Rama or
Yes.
sing ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. So next week, yaro. Hey, by the way, next week I'm in Kodaikanal. I'm holidaying. If there is Wi-Fi.
25th.
Why are you keeping your face like this? You're holidaying and you're going to enjoy.
Because if I'm not able to, if there is no Wi-Fi there, I don't know how good the Wi-Fi will be. If it's there, definitely we will have a class. Otherwise, if somebody else can host it, like, anybody else can.
I think Rahul can do it.
How
He
do?
is the Krishna of our group.
Yes, Rahul.
Rahul has gone. Illa ಅವ್ರು ಇವತ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. I will see what we can do, but we will have the class. Okay. Because I don't want to carry my laptop and all from my phone. If I do, if the Wi-Fi is strong enough, if the data is good, data what you call the signal is good, then we can have. Otherwise, we should not miss it. So we will see how we can continue. Okay. So
But we'll miss you, Purnima.
No. Let's not miss. We will have it. So next class only, I request who Rama Mani will sing us a song. Okay.
I will see, ma.
Next week. Okay, pa.
Okay. Okay.
All
She's
right.
giving you a time to prepare.